Oh, it's working. Okay, good. First off, I'm going to be looking a little off camera because I wrote all my thoughts down. So that's why I'm not making perfect eye contact. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, all. I don't know if Mr. Johnson has provided an introduction, so I'll give mine briefly. My name is Natalie, and I was in Mr. Johnson's class as a freshman in 2009. I got my bachelor's degree in marine biology from UC San Diego in 2016, and now I'm getting my master's degree in wildlife biology and conservation at Edinburgh Napier University in Scotland. Okay, that's a mouthful. So, even though I didn't major in English literature of any form, Mr. Johnson was one of my favorite teachers. He handed me my diploma, and we've kept in touch, which brings me to this video. The comics and superheroes unit was one of my favorites, as well as all the Shakespeare. He may still have some of my projects since I spent way too much time drawing for them. So I hope you're all holding up at home and getting as much out of this situation as possible. Mr. Johnson and your other teachers are working really hard, so appreciate them. Okay, Wonder Woman. Full disclosure, my exposure to Wonder Woman and her fellow superheroes are quite movie-based right now, but my introduction to the former Wonder Woman is actually more of a personal, like, childhood memory type thing. My mom has a Wonder Woman action figure given to her by my dad. It was perhaps a combination of humor, because there's like a childlike coolness to having superhero gear, be it a t-shirt, a poster, whatever, but it was also a gesture. In her early 30s, my mom went back to school to get her nurse practitioner certification while working part-time as a registered nurse with a 3-year-old, me, and a 16-month-old, my sister. So that's a lot to handle, especially to handle successfully, which she did. This is an important gesture because it's my earliest memory of a woman, my mom, being recognized for her perseverance, hard work, and ambition. As one of her most valued possessions, she keeps it on her desk, and I suppose my knowing the story and knowing that she values that gesture of the action figure, as well as knowing that my dad is super proud of making her happy, instilled in me the lesson that women should be celebrated for all the things, big and small, we set our minds to. So in terms of the character herself of Wonder Woman of Diana Prince, I can't really think of any earlier pop culture feminist icon. Her gender, sex, or sexual identity don't define her success and failures, but the person underneath those identities does. She could be an alien or purple or have 4 arms, and her achievements would still be tied to the characteristics of her persona. So in my opinion, this can be interpreted as the basis of feminism, in that the opportunities and experiences Wonder Woman has access to, as well as the recognition of her existence and her work, are not lessened by her being written, drawn, and advertised as a woman. If I recall correctly, I believe her creator's intention was for her feminine and masculine characteristics to appeal to both young female and male readers, showing that women can most certainly be put on an equitable superhero pedestal as the Supermans of the comic world. I think her most valuable characteristics lie within the literary duality of her traits. I'd like to preface the next sentences by stating all traits described are certainly not exclusive of masculine or feminine folks. We all have all of them. So just putting that out there. Wonder Woman is renowned for her typically masculine attributes of strength, resilience, and agility, but at the same time, she would not choose to enter a physically violent confrontation if it could be avoided with the more typical feminine attributes of logic, compassion, and connection. I think she is the model of female leaders of our world, our real life world, and our fictional worlds, and I wonder where these worlds would be if communities, states, and countries actively addressed problems with words and an open mind, first and foremost, as we were all taught to do as kids. Hopefully, we were all taught that. If not, then this is the moment when you should really take that to heart. To add onto all of this, the incredible success of the most recent Wonder Woman movie and the anticipated success of the next one has gotten a whole new generation of kids and adults, rightly so, excited about female superheroes. To have female representation on screen, showcasing strength and class and intelligence, is invaluable. So let's go over some numbers, which I lovingly found on the internet, easily accessible. The 2017 movie grossed nearly $822 million worldwide. So taking into consideration production costs, box office revenues, promotional and distributional costs, etc., Warner Brothers is thought to have profited $252.9 million. That's a lot of money. That makes it actually the most profitable superhero movie of 2017, ahead of Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Wonder Woman is a DC extended superhero movie, a franchise which has struggled greatly in comparison to Marvel flicks. It's about a female superhero, and it's directed by a woman, so claps for Patty Jenkins. She's amazing. This is a movie that beat out a bunch of Marvel movies about mostly men. So I think that is a really fantastic, awesome, and cool thing if you're a 6-year-old girl or boy looking for a Halloween costume or your everyday costume. Doesn't really matter, does it? For her, or for me, her value in essence is the generation of pride amongst young girls and women to be young girls and women, and the generation of respect for young girls and women from young boys and men. So at the end of the day, I think that's really it. It's about pride, it's about strength, it's about compassion, intelligence, all of these attributes that she's attributed with having and excelling with. And so I hope that's concise and clear for everyone. So find joy in the rest of your studies and have a good rest of your year. Thanks for listening.